So my today topic of discussion is simplification of context-free grammar. I know that everybody is aware about the CFG, context-free grammar, and so myself, Dr. Rajesh Prasad, I'm working at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So what is going to be covered in the simplification of the grammar? I will talk about useless symbol first, right? Like symbol means if you talk about grammar, it is like V sigma SP. Grammar, we know that it is four tuple. So symbol means any letter of any non-terminal of the V. Actually, this V is set of non-terminal, sigma is set of terminals. S is starting symbol and P is production rule. So by useless symbol means we are referring the non-terminal element of the capital V. So useless symbol, any variable is useless if it is going to be non-active and non-reachable. I'm going to define the meaning of non-active and non-reachable. Then second one, we'll talk about removing the null production, right? And then we'll talk about removing the unit production followed by Chomsky normal form and Greibach normal form. So this is in the order, right? So this is coming under the simplification of CFG. Okay. So first one is non-active variable. So any variable, we know that suppose this is a grammar V sigma SP, suppose this is a grammar. So a non-active variable means if any variable which is not able to derive the terminal string is termed as the non-active variable. For example, if we take this grammar, let's say is like A goes to small a, right, and B goes to small b capital C, and capital C goes to D capital D. So here, if you look at here, A can derive terminal string and B cannot derive terminal string. Meaning is that B goes to small b and capital C, and capital C derive small d and capital D. In this situation, B is not deriving terminal string. So that means this is going to become non-active. Similarly, C is also not going to derive terminal string. C is becoming non-active, and as well as D is also not going to derive the terminal string. So this D is also going to become non-active. Let's have another example. For example, let's say suppose we are giving A goes to BC, right? Yes, and B goes to, let's say, small b and capital D, and then small b, let's say like this, right? And C goes to small c capital C or small c here. So if you look at here, B derived terminal string in first attempt. Yes, this B derived terminal string. Similarly, C can also derive terminal string. So both B and C can derive the terminal string. So if you look at the B and C, that means this is deriving terminal, this is also deriving terminal. So in first attempt, B and C both become active variable, right? So if B and C become active variable, and if you understand this production, A goes to BC, and since B derive terminal string, let's say small b and capital C, right? And C derive also terminal string. So that means this A can also derive terminal string. So by this definition, A is also going to be active variable. Clear? And so A, B, C become active variable. In this one, capital D is not going to derive any terminal string. So that means D become non-active variable, right? So such type of variables, they play no role in language derivation. So we are going to discuss how to remove this such type of variable, right? So you look at here, similar like this is the another question. S goes to AB. Suppose a grammar is having this production. Okay, S goes to AB, and then A derive is small a. Clear? Yes. And then B derive is small b. clear? And then capital B also derive capital C, clear? And E derive small c. So question is that your objective is to remove the non-active variable from this grammar, right? So how to remove the non-active variable? First one, let's say this is A1 is set of active variable, right? First active variable. So algorithmically find out the one which is deriving the terminal string in the first attempt. So A is deriving terminal string. So active variable A is the one, okay, and B is also deriving terminal string. So this B is also going to be in the set of active variable, right? First attempt it is deriving terminal string, and in the first attempt E is also deriving terminal string, right? So that means A1 is set of active variable which include A, B and E, clear? Now in order to get active variable A2, A2 is basically A1 union. We are going to get A1 union, and like any if they are in the right hand side, ABE. Are you getting my point? ABE, if they are in the right hand side, include the left hand side variable also. Look at here. AB are in the right hand side. So S is going to be included in the set of active variable. Clear? And no other symbols are going to be included. So this become AB, E and S. This is the set of active variable 2. Now look at here in the set of active variable 3. If you want to compute, right, A3 is nothing but A2 union. We are going to get these symbols in the right hand side of the production. Then we are going to get the left hand side. So AB already S is included. C is not there, so we are not going to include B because of this, and this is the final. So A3 is basically A2 union 5, so this become A2. So that means this chain is stabilized, okay? So if you look at here ABES, yeah, so which production, which non-terminal is not occurring in this A3 like active variable? So it is going to be A, B, E and S, right? A, B, E and S. So this is going to be included because all the non-terminals are here from this set. Similarly, this is also going to be included, this is also going to be included, and this is going to be discarded because C is not present in the list, right? And E is also going to be discarded. So this is the actually a set of non-active variable, set of grammar after removing the set of non-active variable is actually S goes to AB. It is simplified one because we know that non-active variable, they don't play any role in language derivation, right? A goes to small a, and then B goes to small b, and capital A, E goes to small c. So this is the grammar having no non-active variable, right? So this is the definition of non-active variable. So let's summarize it. So if you are talking about CFG, any variable which is going to be active, right, if it can derive alpha x beta, and ultimately this can derive W, and W is like belong to sigma star. In this situation, A is active only if has capability to derive the terminal string in one or more than one step. Otherwise, variable will become non-active variable. Clear? So this is the grammar. S goes to AB, A goes to small a, B goes to small b, capital E goes to small c. This has no non-active variable, right? Similarly, second discussion is like non-reachable variable, any variable which cannot be reached by the starting symbol, right? So see a variable, any variable, right? If any variable, let's say like a belong to capital V, right? is not reachable. It is non-reachable. If like is reachable, let's define it is reachable, right? Any variable is reachable if we can start from s, right, via like more than one symbol alpha, a, beta, right? That means you can reach a via s. So in this situation, a is going to be reachable variable, and you know that if a variable which cannot be reached by the starting symbol, so that means that it has no role in the language derivation. So such type of variable can be removed easily. Let's see, consider this grammar, like see here, and s goes to ab, okay, and a goes to small a, and b goes to small b, capital E goes to small c. So this is the grammar which was obtained after removing the non-active variable. So first step is to remove the non-active variable, then come to the non-reachable variable. So, you know, if we are making the non-reachable set, let us take R1. Starting symbol will be included in the R1, right? Because we assume that starting symbol is reachable by itself, okay? And after now, in order to get R2, let us take R1 union, like means R1 is going to be combined, right? And you see any symbol in the like look at this R1 symbol in the left hand side, it is opposite of the non-active. So any symbol non-terminal in the right hand side, if we take symbol from left hand side, any non-terminal in the right hand side will be included in the set R2, right? So this is A and B. Why? Because this is taking the role of alpha, lambda. A can be this, beta can be this. Similarly, this can be alpha, this can be A, this can be beta. So it is very simple that, okay, so R2 is actually SAB. Clear? So now, you know, in order to get R3, you are going to get R2 union. Look at these occurrences, SAB in the left hand side, and include the non-terminal present in the right hand side. Yes, AB is included already. A is there, no non-terminal here. B is here, no non-terminal here. And E is not coming into this list. So R2 become 5. So what is answer? R3 is actually R2. So what is this set? SAB. Clear class? Okay, so now that means this non-terminal E is not reachable. So you know, if it is not reachable, so remove the production where it is appearing, right? So you know, this is going to be removed. So grammar with no active and no non-reachable variable is actually S goes to AB, and A goes to small a, and B goes to small b. This is the grammar which has no non-reachable and no non-active. Clear? So what is order of removing non-active? First one, remove the non-active first, and then non-reachable first. Please don't reverse it, because if you are applying non-reachable first and non-active first, you may get the useless symbol, right? So order of application is non-active and then non-reachable. Let's have another example. So question is coming like, find a reduced grammar equivalent to the grammar G whose production are this. Okay. So in this type of questions, first one, you have to remove the non-active variable, right? Yeah. So let us see non-active variable. Again, A1, take that variable non-terminal which is directly producing the terminal. Clear? So A1 will be, this guy is directly producing the terminal, take it here. And similarly, C is also directly producing the terminal. So C is going to be in the part of A1. Clear? A1 is going to be A and C. Similarly, if you take A2, A1 union, right? Yes, A1 union, AC is there. So look at this AC, any occurrences of AC in the right hand side. you have to include the left hand side of the production. So AC is appearing here. So this yes is included here because AC is appearing in the right hand side. So this is not going to be included because AB is not there. AB is also not going to be included. This is not going to be included. Clear? So now your answer is yes. Now AC, yes, yes, clear. So now you are getting like AC and yes, okay. Now A3 will be actually A2 union. All the occurrences of these ACS in the right hand side. So B is not coming and B is not coming and C is not coming. Clear. So that means this is nothing but 5. So you are going to get AC and yes. So this means that this production is going to be deleted because it is same. A3 is same as A2 and here be this production and this production is also going to be deleted and this production is also going to be deleted. So what is remaining? Remaining after removing the non-active variable, S goes to CA and A goes to small a and C goes to small b. Right? Yes, this is the grammar obtained after removing the non-active variable. Right? So if let us from this grammar you just apply reachable variable. So R1, as I said, it is starting symbol, okay, and R2 will be in this situation R1. Left hand side is this element from yes R1. So this CA will be included over here, right? CA will be included here. So this is yes CA, clear? Yes. And R3 means that R2 union, yes, CA in the left hand side. Yes, yes, CA was included, A is there, no non-terminal, C is there, no non-terminal. So this become 5. So this is actually yes, CA. That means all the non-terminals are reachable. So reduced grammar is actually yes goes to CA, A goes to small a and C goes to B. So this is the reduced grammar in which all the variable are useful. Clear? So yes. So next thing in the simplification is null production, right? It is very important production. So consider the grammar G whose productions are like this. And in a production of the form, let's say A goes to lambda, right? It's called as null production, or sometime in the books it is written as A goes to epsilon. So this type of productions are known as null production, and we know that null production has no meaning, is language derivation. So such type of production can be removed from the grammar, right? So let's have one example like C, S goes to AS or AB, clear, and A goes to lambda and B goes to lambda, and now D also going to be. Question is that if S is not like, if lambda is not language of LG, then yes go, then that means yes does not derive lambda. So such type of production can be eliminated. So question is saying the LG minus lambda. Lambda is already excluded from this. Find production. So in first attempt, find out the production rules which is directly deriving the lambda production. So A goes to lambda qualifies into this category and B goes to lambda qualifies into this category. Clear? So from here A is nullable variable and B is also nullable variables. You have identified the nullable variable in first attempt. So if A and B are nullable variable, look at this. A and B both are appearing in the right hand side. So based on this, you see here, S goes to AB and A derive lambda. So you will be getting B and B derive lambda. So this become there. That means S can derive lambda. So S is also nullable variable. See, so you have identified that A, B and S, 3 are nullable variable. So since LG minus lambda we are interested in, S goes to lambda can be eliminated. So what is production rule? You see now S goes to AS, okay, this will remain, And since S is in the lambda production, replace S by lambda, you will get A. Clear? Yes. And A is like lambda, so you will get B. And similarly, B is lambda, you will get A. Both are lambda, you are not going to include S goes to lambda. Clear? Yes. And this is deleted. A goes to lambda, B goes to lambda, and D goes to B. So this is the grammar which has no lambda production, right? Let's have another example. So this is the question, find a CFG without lambda production equivalent to the grammar this. Let's identify the lambda production first. Look at here. Here B derive lambda and C derive lambda. Clear? B and C both derive lambda. So in the first attempt, B derive lambda, C derive lambda. Okay. So by this one, of course, you know, A also derive lambda because A goes to B, C, and B derive lambda means C, and C derive lambda means B. And both derive lambda means it is going to be lambda. So that means A is also lambda production. No other productions are lambda because this, if you replace A, B, C by lambda, you will get small a. So now means that A is also lambda production. See here because of this. So three nullable productions are there. You can eliminate them. So once you start eliminating AB small a capital C, eliminate A by lambda, you will get BAC. B by lambda, you will get AAC. C by lambda, you will get ABA, and then AB by lambda AC, AC by lambda BA, you know, and BC by lambda AA, and replace everybody by lambda, so you will get small a. See, A lambda you will get this, B lambda you will get this, C lambda you will get something. AB lambda AC, AC then BC, then like AC you have substituted, so BA is going to be here. Yes. So based on this, and similarly you will get A goes to BC, B lambda you will get B, C lambda you will get B, C lambda, B lambda you will get C. Both lambda we are going to eliminate, and next is B goes to small b, C goes to capital D, and capital D goes to this. This is the grammar having no lambda productions. So another simplification category is the unit production. Any production of the form A goes to B is called as unit production, right? So you know, like here we are not going to we are going to eliminate such type of production. A goes to B, right? So let's understand how to eliminate. S goes to AB, A goes to small a, B goes to C or B, C goes to capital D goes to capital A, capital E goes to small a. Look at this first attempt. This is the unit, this is the unit, right? And B goes to C is unit. It is very simple procedure. This remain as it is. S goes to AB remain as it is. A goes to small a, B goes to small b is there. Look at here, B goes to C, C goes to D, D goes to capital A, E goes to A. So B goes to A also. How to look at again, B goes to C and C goes to D, D goes to E and E goes to small a. Therefore, B goes to non-unit production, right? Yes, so it's very simple. And C goes to D, D goes to E, E goes to A, so C goes to A. D goes to capital E, E goes to small a, so D goes to small a, and E goes to this small a. So this one, this grammar has no unit production. So unit production can easily be eliminated.